Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Clueless Capitalist, where we discover interesting startups, interview founders, and help you become less clueless with angel investing. My name is Razi.
And I'm Osman. Welcome to the Clueless Capitalists.
So in this episode, we're going to be speaking to Relaxy. Relaxy is a personalized mental health platform that supports mental health with community care, AI, and therapists in Bangladesh. We have the co-founder and COO of Relaxy, Joy. Welcome to the episode, Joy.
Thanks for inviting Razi and Osman. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, and congratulations on making it to Cohort 10 of Accelerating Asia.
It has been a exciting journey. I'm now at Bali. We had a retreat going on, and it has been a very exciting experience for us to see a lot of other great founders and learn from them. So it has been a very interesting experience.
One of the things that I really encourage any of the founders is that when you go onto these retreats, you get to meet your other founders. They're all experiencing the similar types of issues that you might have. They may have other ideas, and you can learn from them. And the great thing about working within the cohorts is that even after you leave from the retreat, you've built those initial relationships with those founders that you can then start to leverage on while you move forward. So a lot of people really make the full use of it. And you'll be exposed to the other founders from the previous cohorts, and that will allow you to actually expand your knowledge base through learning from others that have been running their businesses in different ways. The idea is that everybody gets to benefit from all of this, right? And that's one of the great things about having a community that you have within Accelerating Asia. So yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So Joy, tell us a little bit more about your company Relaxy, and then when you're ready, we can go through the pitch deck, but just give us a very brief introduction as to what it is that you do.
Relaxy is very simple. Relaxy makes mental health easy with community, AI, and therapists in Bangladesh. So we are right now based in Bangladesh, but we have a bigger vision to go global. But we are very focused on giving the Relaxy users a very safe community platform where they can share emotions, open up, and get their personalized, convenient counseling sessions that they need. So yeah.
Let's just go through your deck first, and then we can start to ask questions a little bit more after that.
Hello everyone, this is Joy, CEO of Relaxy. So Relaxy makes mental health easy with community, AI, and therapists in Bangladesh. So do you know about 170 million out of 170 million people in Bangladesh, around 13% are adolescents are going through mental health troubles. And also in Bangladesh, 5% of the GDP are lost due to mental health issues. And it's in 21st century, still we have a lot of wait time and friction while booking any counseling sessions in Bangladesh. So with around 75% internet penetration, with half of the populations are under the age of 35 and tech savvy, they want more modern and better counseling support for their needs. So this is where Relaxy comes in with a $1 billion market opportunity by 2030, and we're just getting started. With Relaxy, you can access modern health by just 3 clicks. Suppose you select anxiety to reflect your mood in Relaxy. So what Relaxy will do is they will connect you with like-minded people and assign you a mental health professional who is specialized in anxiety. So where you can actually book instant call or chat sessions with them and get after-session guidance. The unique thing about Relaxy is the data-driven platform and also the in-app algorithm we have built, whereas the others will guide you towards generic solutions. Relaxy will actually assess your daily moods, tone of your communication, and how you interact with the platform. Also track your counseling care selections and provide you a personalized self-care guidance plan for you. Till this date, we have been actually got 80,000 plus users with 25,000 plus subscribers and 13,000 plus monthly active users. And we have seen 66% mood improvement of our users who have been using Relaxy for at least 1 year. So we started with B2C subscriptions with country's 2 largest telco partners, where we got in the touch of 60 million plus user base, and we are started with our B2B subscriptions just this year. what started as just an initial idea now has become a venture backed by Bangladesh, one of the largest mental health ecosystem enablers, and we have been advised by country's lead researchers and also psychologists in Bangladesh. So as we have tested and tried our features, now we want to focus on our growth. We are raising 200k USD for 14x paid user growth in next 12 months, and want to ensure and build conversational AI assistant named Jolly AI to reach 6 million users with accessible mental health by 2028. So we welcome you all to come join us to build and bring modern day mental health care in Bangladesh.
How do you guys get started? What's the origin story of Relaxy?
It's a very interesting story. We were actually college kids, three of us at universities, and we were actually going through trouble of ourselves. Three of us have gone through mental health trouble ourselves in our whole journey. And when the COVID hit, it got really escalated. We actually tried to find solutions to get counseling sessions easily. So we had very little idea about counseling at that time. So we tried to find out where to get the counseling. We couldn't find any in Bangladesh. So after lots of effort and after at least 2 weeks, I actually got to a counseling through messenger message, lots of messages. I gave lots of messages to a lot of people. One of the psychologists replied, and I booked the counseling sessions after 2 weeks. So, and then I take the counseling. Then again I had to manually ask for the psychologist's free time and all. So she was busy. I couldn't get the support and all. So that's why it got really hit me, what's going on. So my other two co-founders, I have the similar experience at that time. So we actually then try to understand, is there a big gap between people need and also what's available in the market? So that's where the initial idea of Relaxy came in. We want to solve these issues. The mental health needs to be very accessible to anyone, and no one should not get the counseling sessions just because he doesn't have the time. So that's where the initial idea came in. Just at the COVID period when we were the fourth year student in engineering university.
Yeah, no. So when I met Janobi as well, I think this was back in this must have been during the start of Bangladesh Summit, right at the very beginning, and we were talking. And just as a general point, I mean, this is a great way to get introduced to Accelerating Asia and to the people in the team, because I met Janobi and she presented the problem, and we had this debate in the hotel. Mental health issues normally, we would talk about it as a first world problem, right? And we would normally say, well, you look at people in Africa, they don't have mental health issues. And if you look in Pakistan and India, there's nobody having mental health issues. The interesting thing is that actually we do, but we're not addressing it. And we have no capability to address it, and there's a real shortage of it. And so, yeah, I mean, for me, that was the observation I had, and it was good that you were able to explain that to me, because at the time, I really genuinely didn't think it was a real problem unless it was, a common problem in the first world rather than the third world. And I just wanted to understand a little bit more about, the capabilities that are available in Bangladesh, why that's really a real problem, and how you're going about addressing that as well in terms of long term. Do you have a bit more detail around that?
Sure, we have rightly pointed out, there is always short of psychologists anywhere in the world, especially in countries like Bangladesh or India, Southeast Asia. The gap is far bigger. And there is also another issues, which is big stigma around mental health. So people are if anyone takes any counseling sessions and all, people used to think of they're mad or something. So this is changing. Before the COVID, it is just changing. People are now open to it. And also, as we've been saying with the psychologist part, there has been a big psychologist and psychiatrist gap in Bangladesh. So it's around 300 plus professional psychologists that are available in Bangladesh. Gap, and also the psychologists are not available online. The ones they are good, they are not available online. So there is also the clients are also not available with the psychologist. They're when the psychologist is available in the daytime, So there is also a big problems between like this. How can the 300 psychologists can actually help a lot of people? So this is where also we have been seeing some new things happening as capacity building and all. So for Relaxy, what we have been trying to do from the very beginning is to, first of all, maximize the psychologist capacity we have and efficiently use it. So we have been onboarding all the psychologist organizations in Relaxy platform and giving them a free marketplace model opportunity for them to use the night time of the psychologist so they can easily book session. And also we have been introducing chatting session with the psychologist, where in one time the psychologist can actually chat with multiple people and give them the support. So this is another thing that we've been doing. And also for the bigger picture, we know that this is not going to be enough. So that is where we are using the data we have been getting with the chatting sessions and calling sessions, and properly actually having the privacy maintained, and also use this data to build the empathetic AI assistant named Jolly AI, which is going to actually categorize the high-risk users to the psychologists and low-risk user to the primary level support providers in Bangladesh, which are like voluntary mental health support providers, so that we can actually manage it better. So that's our journey for till 2028 to actually tackle the mental health issues in Bangladesh.
Walk me through how the AI is able to analyze the data, because naturally, if I'm talking to a psychologist on your platform and I'm saying things in private, how are you using that data? Is there an invasion of privacy here? What concerns should I have?
For any mental health platform, and what we ensure is we ensure the whole privacy policy in Relaxy. So we don't use the personal data there, the name, data, and so we use just the generalized data. Even we can't test whose text is that and all. So we just use those data to actually train our model and contextualize the model about the mental health issues, and try to build the empathetic AI, which is really very easy to actually chat with the other users. So there has been a global references about it, WISA does it, and in global there are other organizations that are doing it. So we are ensuring the whole policy, and we have been added this to our privacy policy, that we will be using those data to actually on the research part. We won't be using the personal data part in during our research.
How would the Jolly AI actually work? Would I do the initial screening through Jolly AI, and then it would say, okay, you definitely need to speak to a psychologist, or at the moment you need to speak to a primary healthcare worker or something like that? What is the interface? How do we go about getting categorized in Jolly AI?
We can go through a simple module right now in Relaxy. It will be just very simply added to it. Like in Relaxy, if anyone users comes in, we now what it does is there is a psychologist, trainee psychologist in backend in Relaxy, supporting we call. So we'll supporting you message it. The individual will actually initially empathize with you, talk with you in chat, and then guide you to next psychologist and all. So this is the conventional right now. This is the process. With the Jolly AI, it will become at the beginning of the interface, so you can actually chat with the Jolly AI. So the Jolly AI will ask some simple questions. You will also as Relaxy is a community platform, the Jolly AI will have your mental health data assessment, your past frames, and ask you simple questions and empathize with you at first, calm you down, and then suggest you with psychologist according to your need. And if you don't need psychologist at that time, so he will connect you to like-minded peers to give you those venting out space. So that's the whole thing we have been building. So it has been already built, the base level is built, the Relaxy it's done manually. As we get enough data, we will be trialing out our Jolly AI beta version in the next year. It is just a chat bot for them, for the front end. Very easy, just chat with them. But with the conventional chatbot, they can't empathize with you. So that's the important part, empathizing. That's where we need the data for the chat sessions data to actually get the model running, to get it more empathic.
I was just looking at other AI called Hume AI. I'm not sure whether you've seen it, HUME.ai. And what it does is that it actually is able to figure out the emotions in your speech and when you speak, and then is able to respond in empathic ways. I've tested it out before on the demo. I was very impressed. Like, it can tell, it will actually measure the amount of stress, the amount of fear, and all of these different emotions in your voice, and the way I speak it, whether I pause, whether or not I sighed and whatnot, and then from there it's able to respond. I thought that was quite brilliant, and when I see that, I think that's going to be replacing a lot of counselors over the phone and maybe even hotlines and whatnot.
So that's the plan. Like in Bangladesh, when the users talk, like they talk in English, they talk in Bangla, and there is also a term called Banglish. So this is a very different thing. So we need those actually data, and contextualization is also like there is cultural difference and all. So we want to actually build the Jolly AI for the Bengali speaking people. So like in Bangladesh and also in Kolkata. So that's the like initial target till 2028 for us.
See, I have a very dumb question that I'd like to ask. Maybe you can edit it out. Is, when we're in a country that is predominantly Muslim, right? Whenever there's mental health issues, people say go and do more namaz, go and do more zikr. Is there that particular issue in Bangladesh when it comes to mental health challenges?
Yeah. It's the same like anywhere else. So people, like when anyone tries to take counseling sessions, so like people judge, like even in the like the very rich people and also the high class society. So that's where the online counseling is very new, and also the chatting session. Chatting as a session is a very new thing anywhere in the world, I believe, like as a 30-minute chatting session. So we have seen a very interesting thing, like people, when we introduce chatting session as a session, people just loved it. Like they have like come in like very rich people, and they would have easily bought the counseling session and all. So they are coming in chatting sessions. So they are also not ready to do video call sessions. So they start with the chatting sessions, and if they feel okay, if the rapport is building, then they book the counseling sessions.
How do you feel confident to actually put down all these very personal things on a platform? Like, sometimes you'd be afraid, like if I were to chat with something, I'm not sure how whatever I'm saying is going to be used. So there'll always be this uncertainty. Like, for example, if I go meet a therapist in person, when I book the session with him or her, everything is being discussed offline, not in a digital manner. It's like in person, and it's just confined to the room and me and the therapist. But when I go to a platform and I start typing things in, I don't know who else is like listening into my conversation. So how do you overcome that little bit of fear in a user to open up on a platform like Relaxy?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That's the first thing we have actually seen when we launched our platform. So the interesting thing, we have been testing out, we actually give the users, when they come in, we give them two options. They can be in anonymous and they can be in public. When they are in anonymous mode, no one actually can go through his profile and stuff. And he just have a nickname, he can actually select. So no one knows who he is or who she is. And he or she talks with other people. And we also ensure the community guidelines to our typical, the different gamified features and scoring features. But when the users come in and do anonymously, they tend to open up a big time to share emotions, and they share with mental people. And with the psychologists, it's same as any offline counseling. We don't even also track the individual data, who take who counseling sessions and who said what. So it's totally safe on the server, and we don't actually track those who is what. So they are also feeling that whole safe space. So that's the whole gist of for Relaxy, to make them safe at first through anonymous feature, and then they open up and do counseling.
Just in general, your paid user base, can you just walk through simple things like how are you actually going to market, how are you advertising, how are you getting people onto your platform, and how are you converting them into paid users? That for me is quite interesting, and I'd be curious to know how you're doing it.
So when we started our initial research and on the mental health market in Bangladesh, so one thing we have found out, people are scared of mental health in the world. So we have removed mental health word from our whole communications and all. We just say support session, rescue session, wellness, self-care. So these are we are focusing on that word. And the first thing we have made is we have made a song, which is called Moner Kotha Bolo Pran Khule. It means share your emotions openly. So it's where like we see them, like show them stories with a very catchy song, and people like what, and then we have actually uploaded in YouTube, ran some install campaigns to it, and also that, like, this is the first thing that we have done, like people just get that likability and also relatability of there is a platform that is there for them to open up. So that is the first thing they've seen when they come to the Relaxy platform. And then after last 1 year, we have been doing mental health awareness campaigns quite a lot, but in a different way, not just very tough and very serious way. It's a very open platform. So we have launched Relaxy Uncensored. So where actually we have invited influencers who have gone through mental health struggles themselves. So they have come in. We have brought another psychologist from ourselves, and like our CEO Janavi was there. So they just opened up chats, very casual chats. They shared their emotions, what they have been gone through, and how they have tackled it and all. And psychologists also answered their questions. So these has hit big time. So we have been onboarded like big influencers, as they are also champion of mental health. So they have come to Relaxy very easily. So they have shared their emotions. So that's where like we have targeted those young adult people in Bangladesh very easily. So they see the likability and they see the relatability of it. So they just come in easily. We don't sell the stuff like take counseling sessions here. We say just come to the Relaxy platform to share your emotions anonymously. We won't judge you. We will guide you personally. We will provide you personal guidance here. So that's the thing we have been going on. And now we have been starting with offline campaigns, with very offline, online both campaigns with university events, where we have been actually like given Relaxy as a case study for them. So people are making videos of Relaxy. How can that's helping them? So that is also took up. So yeah, so like I would say like in our last 2 years journey, we have got 80% users organically with word of mouth and also those like organic views, and 20% are on the paid channels. And they just come into the Relaxy platform, then we take care of the rest. We first nurtured them and then provided suggestions to take counseling or chat sessions or meditation or subscriptions, and then we get them to do our paid users. And till date, we have 25,000 plus paid subscribers, Telco and Relaxy Pro subscribers, and we have done 5,000 plus counseling sessions in Relaxy.
What is the daily active users and the monthly active users?
In last month, the daily active users was around 800 to 900, and the monthly active user is 13,000 plus in last month.
How are you ensuring that these users keep coming back? Like, what is your churn?
Our retention is 50% for the for 6 months. Retention is 50% right now. So we have been seeing the last 3 months the churn is 25% for the new users.
Okay, and the customer acquisition costs?
Our paid user customer acquisition cost is $3 right now, and the LTV we are seeing is $15. We are actually planning to bring it to 25 by end of this year. So we have been launching some subscriptions to it, but right now it's LTV is $15.
In terms of the product suite that you have, what is getting the biggest traction and what other demand are you seeing?
Unique USP for the Relaxy, for anyone taking any sessions here is the chatting session. So we have done around 10,000 plus chat sessions till date. The chat session actually launched around 6 months ago. So we have done 10,000 plus chatting sessions. So chatting session is a game changer for us, but we have been actually trying to actually improve it and also make it more efficient, so that the 30 minutes chatting session period gets more valuable to the users. So we've been running research on that. And also the revenue part, the subscriptions, Relaxy Pro subscriptions, which is $8 a month right now. So that is just launched last 2 months. So that is also getting a lot of traction. And also the users, the subscribed users are actually paying 4x than the conventional users in Relaxy, which is also we also want to double down on that on the Relaxy Pro subscribers.
Okay. And how long have you actually been running for? I know that there's a period where you were in ideation stage, but in terms of fully launched and running with users paying services, how long has that been going for now?
The app has been live for 2 years, just 2 years. But we have been for the like paid user base, like paying sessions and all. It has been for around 1.5.
1.5 years. Okay. And then, so by this stage, you must have an idea of like your month-on-month growth, year-on-year growth now. How is that looking? And are you know, is that trajectory pretty steady or not?
So the year-on-year growth, like last year to this year, is like 12x, it was just like pre-launch and all. So and last 6 months, month-on-month growth is 15%. Paid user base growth is 15%, and we had to hit big times because we have been preparing for the Relaxy Pro subscriptions with renewable subscriptions with bKash, one of the largest MFS in Bangladesh. We have been also partnering with them to go mass user acquisitions in the bKash platform. And so that's a big plus that's going on. And we have been also partnered exclusive contract and partnership with TP Gaming Phone, the biggest telco partners in Bangladesh, on very different levels. So we will be onboarding our mood board features in MyGP app, who have like 5 million plus paid monthly active user base. So they will be coming to using daily mood features to our telco subscriptions. So that is also a big plan that has been actually launching this year's end. And also the Relaxy Pro, Relaxy B2B subscriptions is also, we have been launched. 5 of the big corporates have already taken our Relaxy subscriptions trial this month. So we will be seeing a big jump in the end of December, and we will see. And we will know actually like how can we actually more double down on the telco and IMFS subscriptions in the next year.
Okay. And in terms of your investments so far, you mentioned Grameenphone. Are they on your cap table at the moment? Who's on the cap table?
Now, we have done a pre-seed round, got a 9.5k USD, were led by Sajida Foundation. Now it has been changed to Beyond S Venture, and also an angel investor. He's the vice president of bKash Finance. Both of them actually invested in the pre-seed round. And the good news is that both of them actually are coming to this round also. And the angel investor has also signed the check for the this round. And also the Sajida Foundation, now Beyond S Venture, is also coming this round. And Exciting Asia is also this round. We're also in talks with other angel investors, and this is to come into this round. We also, for the 200k, we have 130k plus committed. So we have around 70k still. And we will be closing this in October. And we'll be doing new rounds in December.
Okay, so there's 70k left on the round for this month. And what's the minimum check size that you're taking?
So we are the minimum check size is 15k USD.
All right, and then if you're looking at that, what valuation cap are you currently raising at? Because I assume it's on a safe note. So what's the terms of the safe note?
So we have been for this round, so we will be doing the same, it's a safe note, and it will be same as Exciting Asia, and it's a 1.5 million post-money valuation.
Okay, good. So it's a reasonable valuation.
I'm just curious to know, in terms of similar startups, is there anything similar in, say, in India, like a mental health startup that's similar? What's it called, and what's its situation right now? So Naimul is also in the similar space. They're on the wellness space, and also there is Visa, and we actually very much follow Intellect a lot. Naimul has raised 3 million in the last round, USD in the last round, and Intellect is in I believe 100 plus countries right now. They're quite big, and they're on the B2B space, and Naimul is in the B2C space and the wellness space. And the main difference between Intellect and Relaxy is the approach. We are more focused on the anonymous mode and community driven. They're more focused on the data driven part. And Naimul is also focused on the community driven part, but they're not focused on the data driven part. What Relaxy wants to do, and is to actually within the next 1 year we will be doing, is giving the community driven and also the data driven part, and making it more effective for the end users.
What partnerships do you have in place, or are you planning to have in place?
So we have been doing exclusive partnerships with the telcos to get mass user acquisitions at a very low CAC. So we have signed contracts with Grameen Phones and Robi, the two biggest telco partners in Bangladesh. And we have onboarded 5 corporates as our Relaxy Wellbeing B2B subscription package, yearly subscription package, which is going to drive our revenue in the next few years. Around 70% of the revenue will be coming from the B2B subscriptions. So we have done the initial trial and onboarded 5 big companies there. And for the research part, we have been onboarded 3 big advisors to build the Jolly AI. So we have the initial groundwork ready. As we have now ready, we want to actually double down on that and bring the Jolly AI and bring the innovation to our platform a lot better. So we have onboarded 3 advisors. One of them have 2 IPOs in Canada, and he's in health tech startup builder. So he's actually ensuring our privacy and data security stuff with our CTO. And we have been onboarded on the VP of Clinical Health in the professor in Dhaka University Psychology department. So he's also helping us with the research. So and also we have been added Bangladesh UNICEF's AI assistant, AI advisor to our platform as an advisor, Farik Sadi. He has already built those AI assistant globally. So he's also helping us with the Jolly AI stuff. So these are the stuff we have been already closed this very recently to actually go double down on the Jolly AI innovation in the next year.
I have a question. How powerful of a phone do I need to be able to access Relaxy? How smart of a smartphone do I need? I just want to get an idea of how accessible this is to the masses in Bangladesh.
This is as is any smartphone. Like if you use Facebook, if you can use Facebook in your mobile app, you can use Relaxy. It is as simple and as easy as anyone. So that's why we are getting very easy user acquisitions to the telco channels. And the Bangladeshi, like I've said, 75% of the users have those smartphones right now from the adult age. So that's the main target.
I was just thinking that since mental health issues are a big thing in Bangladesh, I mean, a big thing globally, and not everyone can afford it, right? So possibly to do more research and to get more data or to get more users for the Jolly AI platform, there could be a way where some people could sponsor X number of users, like for example, you could say, look, refugee communities, I could go and say, look, I'm going to buy 50 or 30 licenses. I live in the first world, I'll sponsor 30 of these annual premium users, so then people can go and use it and maybe you get more users. I don't know if that could be one way where you could get more, Relaxy could sponsor free accounts for certain communities that they can then help. They can use it benefits them, and they also help train the Jolly AI.
Yeah, that's a very, very, very good idea, I believe. So we have been actually trying to get funds for the Jolly AI to make it more faster. So we have been actually applied to UNICEF Venture Fund. So we are also in the final stage to get those support through the global organizations. As the main motivations and the main missions to bring Jolly AI to the world, actually to bring those break the barrier between the rich to poor, to get mental health access. So that's the initial thought process was. So as soon as we get the Jolly AI more close to perfect, we'll be able to break those gaps smaller.
Yeah, when I was just looking at the numbers that you mentioned earlier, right? In Bangladesh, there's 0.34 psychologists for every 100,000 people. You look in Singapore, it's actually 9.7 per 100,000 people. So it's definitely a massive shortage. I mean, there's no global agreement on what the ideal number or the optimal number should be. But still, you can see the disparity, 9.7 here and then 0.34 back in Bangladesh. I was looking at Headspace. I mean, I was just wondering, how did Headspace get so much visibility and so much traction? I think, well, of course, one of the things that they wrote was the whole global awareness around mental health, that wave that they wrote through before the pandemic or even through the pandemic. But then I was just looking at what else they did, and one of the things they were doing was doing a lot of free events where you would come down and they will actually guide you through and it's different. It's a meditation session. Guide you through a meditation session, And the other thing that was very interesting for them was they used to have a freemium model. So you could access certain things, certain minutes or certain programs for free. And then if you wanted something more advanced, that you have to pay. I guess that's already there in Relaxy, right? Like a freemium kind of a model.
Yeah. Relaxy is now free to use, but the premium features are like paid, one-time or subscription.
And then the other two things that really worked for them was influencer marketing, which you already are doing. And the final one I was looking at was they did lots and lots of content. So I think they did a podcast, they did YouTube, they did lots of written content, like really educating people. I think when it comes to these mental health issues, a lot of times there is, of course, stigma. There is a lot of self-doubt. You're thinking, should I go for this? What's wrong with me? And you don't really want to talk to people about it. And I think by creating content, by educating people about these issues and trying to educate them, that will, if you become the go-to resource in the country for mental health, where people can learn and they can share it with their friends, their family, I think it'd be very helpful. I think like something that they do here in Singapore, maybe not with mental health, but then they have resources for parents where they can guide kids, because kids will have different challenges. Then there's resources for parents to guide teenagers. Then there's also resources if you're a family member and you have an older, like you have a senior in your family, they might have, like their body is failing them, they are lonely, and things like that. So there's resources to help them as well. So I don't know whether something like this exists in Bangladesh, but could be interesting to use. And in the end, you contribute to society, and ultimately you're also able to get people to use the app and get even more benefits once they become aware.
Thanks for insights. That's very helpful for me.
Oh, you're most welcome. I had one more question. I was just curious to know, like, how would an exit look like for an investor if they were to put in their 15K for Relaxy? Like, what are the next milestones in terms of valuation, or in this space, what sort of exits have happened in the region, or maybe even in the US and other markets? Just curious to know about that.
So in terms of the Relaxy right now is in the mental health space. So Relaxy slowly, after 2028, Relaxy will actually want to go into the wellness space, self-care wellness part gradually in the Southeast Asia regions. And in terms of the valuation, we'll be raising the next round within the valuation range of around 5 to 6 million USD, and and after 1 year it will be around 10 to 12 million USD. And the easiest exit we have been seeing and getting the proposals even is the acquisitions offer. So the investors in Bangladesh, so they are actually one of the mental health acquisitions. They have done multiple mental health acquisitions in Bangladesh. So they are one of the big mental health ecosystem builders. And there are other global organizations like Intellect, Calm, Better Help, LIDA. So we've been also talking with LIDA. So they are on the B2B mental health space. So there are lots of acquisitions offers that can be done. So Relaxy plays a very different way and have a very strong B2C presence there. So it should be and it can be a very good addition to those big mental health startups, billion-dollar startups, if we want to actually get an exit through acquisitions.
Is there any support from or is there any backing from the Ministry of Health in Bangladesh?
So we have got government grants. So we have been backed by government idea. So the initial we have got we are actually in the grand finalist of Bangabandhu Innovation Grant Big 2021, which was an international event. And then we have got our office space, actually government's office space, which is given for free, and we are getting continuous government coverage and all. So yeah, we are getting those help, and also we are also in talks with Startup Bangladesh, which is government-backed VC, to get next round investment. We haven't. So that's the initial right now stage with the government connections with Relaxy.
Last question. So I'm assuming that most people, most of the users are just concentrated in Dhaka. Have you seen users, active users from other parts of the country, or is it just mainly Dhaka?
The interesting is that it's not just mainly in Dhaka. It's the 52% users are not urban users. So the 48% users are urban users, and 52% are not urban users. So that's where the actual needs lies. The non-urban users don't have any counseling support. And another interesting thing is like the 53% of the Relaxy users are female users. So the females are very safe here, as this is a very supportive and community anonymous platform. We have also taken data bro to keep ratings and also ignore and also block here, so that the female users get the support easily here. So that's the interesting thing about Relaxy right now. It is actually democratizing mental health.
Oh, that's really amazing. I think that's a genuine impact, because I mean, if you're a woman in a village and you want to go to a doctor, you have to travel really far. It's almost like most sort of like telemedicine, right? But for issues that affect the mental state. And I think it's good to hear. Good to hear that the impact is beyond just the urban areas and beyond Dhaka. Because I was looking at where all the psychologists concentrated, and actually they're all just a big portion is in Dhaka, right? So not only is there a problem with not enough psychologists, but all just being concentrated in one particular area, so the rest of the country can't really access them. So it's brilliant. Thank you, Joy, for sharing with us about the work that you're doing with Relaxy. Very inspiring to see the kind of impact that you're making on the well-being of the people of Bangladesh, and we hope that you can expand this beyond the country. And for those of you who've been watching, if you enjoyed the episode, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to invest in Relaxy, we'll put all the information for you to get in touch with Joy in the description. So thank you for watching.
Thanks for inviting me.